Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of High Energy Girl. And today is an awesome day because we have hit episode 200. Oh my gosh, when I started this show a little over 4 years ago, I never would have thought we would have made it to episode 200. So I'm super, super stoked. I am super excited and I want to make the next 200 shows even better. So will you guys do me a little favor, please? And send me an email. Let me know, what do you want to learn about? What problems are you trying to solve that we can find amazing guests or maybe get a little coaching from me? Like problems that you want to fix and ways to make your life better. What topics would you like us to cover? So please take the time and send an email to Tracy with 2 E's at highenergygirl.com. And if you haven't already, now would be a great time to go over to iTunes and leave us a rating and review. That way more people can find the show and more people can age healthier and stronger. So I just want to thank you guys so much for your support. It's totally awesome. If you are a female, please join my group on Facebook, High Energy Girls for Women Aging Stronger. And every Monday night I do a meditation. And every Tuesday, I do a fun little angel card reading. So I would love to see you guys on one of those, or both of those is even better. And today we have a super special guest. His name is Steve Lepkowski, and he's with the company Body Align. Well, he's with it. He founded it. And they have amazing, amazing products, which are working on an energetic frequency, but they will help you in so many ways. You can use the code High Energy to receive a special discount. And we will also have links in the show notes. Steve has an amazing story of what led him to go from cell phones to cellular healing products. And I will let him do the honors. So let's go and say hello to Steve. Hey everyone, welcome to High Energy Girl, a podcast helping women to age stronger because it is never too late to get fit, be strong, and feel sexy. I'm your host, Tracy Gluhite, health coach and personal trainer and founder of highenergygirl.com. Each week, we will either have a guest interview, which will provide you encouragement or an actionable tip to help you age stronger, or I will do a solo episode. Please also join our awesome Facebook group called High Energy Girls, and I'm looking forward to see you on the inside of that group and hope you enjoy today's show. Create Whole Body Wellness, a powerful new advancement in energy medicine. Increase your energy, empower your life. I am super excited to announce that I am now a bioenergetics practitioner. And many people are like, well, what is bioenergetics? So imagine that our body is controlled by our energy field, and these fields get distortions and blockages, which create physical and emotional symptoms. So how do we get energy blockages? From stress, toxins, EMFs, emotional traumas, physical scars, and physical traumas. All you need to do is decode the human body field to get to the root cause and restore your energy for life. For more information, head on over to the blog at highenergygirl.com/bioenergetics with an X. That's BIOENERGETIX, and heal your energy for life. So, hey, Steve, thanks for coming on the show today.
Hey, thank you for having me. It's a wonderful cold day here in the east. We're in Virginia Beach and we're getting snow, and the good Lord's trying to slow us all down now and say, pay attention to me. So this is the start of our weekend, is a snowstorm here in Virginia.
Well, that sounds kind of fun though. I mean, I love rainy days, so it must be kind of cozy. Yeah.
Yep. That's, I think, what he wants for us today, to get out of the craziness of the last couple of months and now give him a little bit of attention today. So that's what I'm going to do tonight.
Cool. Sounds fun.
You know, I'm like addicted now. I got to be honest with you. I've gone back to 193 now. So I'm addicted to your podcast, and I just drove 3.5 hours in the car, and the entire way I'm just next. So it's so exciting to see somebody that's empowering people. I know your audience is mostly women. I think that's your forte, But in this case, I was very motivated by everything that I got to hear, and it's pretty exciting.
Well, I am honored because I know that you've been on a few shows before. So, for the listeners that don't know you yet, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Good. I'm a trained engineer. That's what I did. Is I grew up and created a profession. I worked for a little company called Texas Instruments there in Dallas, Texas. But
That little.
yeah, little company. At the time, it was even smaller. But I became very interested in all the impacts technology was having on the body. And for some reason, I was in my dreams, and all the things that I was involved with led me to understanding traditional Chinese medicine and energetic medicine. That's why the connection we have in the Reiki world. And it was ways that I could see as an engineer that I couldn't touch and feel these things, but I knew they existed. And I can't explain them with modern day physics, right? They can't be explained, but we know they're real. We know they happen. So when I retired after my 20-year career there, I got engaged in some technology development, Tesla coils, in the creation of frequencies, these biofrequencies that could create a biological impact. And my company was born. And about 14 years ago, as we started looking at ways to create a positive biological response in an EMF environment. So if you're not understanding what EMFs are, these are those radio frequencies that are given off from AM radios and FM radios and cell towers. So I made my mark in life looking at technologies to help the body deal with these horrible frequencies that are non-God made. They're man-made, and they affect the body different than what evolution has provided for us, the protection. So you might have seen in the old days with 2G and 3G phones, you'd see the outline of the phone as a heat signature on the side of the head. And those are back in the days in the 90s when we were using very powerful signals to try to get the information to and from cell towers that were way, way far away.
So wait a minute.
Yeah.
So are you telling me that you can see, like, from somebody holding a cell phone up to their head, like you can see?
So yeah, you can, in the history of, we'll say on cell phones for a little bit, because it was part of my life for 20 years. If you were to go Google, right, thermographs of cell dating back to the 90s, you would see would somebody be on the phone for a few minutes, okay, and you would see the outline of the phone as a heat signature right on the side of their head. Now you would pull that away and you say, well, Steve, it gets warm, right? And it's going to warm your side of your face. Well, no, that's what's happening to the body, is being destroyed in that area. And there was a big controversy. I don't know if you remember, it was a huge controversy that children should never go near cell phones because the signals would go in, and we have a bone density, right? Adults, and a lot of the energy would get absorbed in the bone and the problem would disappear. It didn't hurt adults, but it was bad for kids. Okay, use your earbuds like you're doing. But ultimately, the cell phone problem was not as much of a life-threatening as it might be in future generations, but at the time, it was really watch out for kids, okay? Because that heat signature stayed a long time, and it provided a very unhealthy region in the body. Now, today's technology, it provides an unhealthy region near your body because it's on and it's broadcasting. But what's really common, Tracy, women, where do they carry their phone most of the time, right? They put it near in their bra, or they put it in their back pocket, or that's in the purse on the side, very close to some very sensitive matter in the body, right? Sensitive cells in the body, ovarian cells and breast cells. And well, I guess in the back there, it isn't too bad, but it's so the proximity to the body is just as bad as if you had the cell phone in your ear. The difference is the power ratio is much less because you're not talking, but the power is constant, right? When you have it in your pocket or in your bra. So let me give you a quick message. Don't put a phone in your bra. Don't put a phone on your hip if you're a woman. Put it in your back pocket because generally you have enough protection back there to absorb the energies before it gets to anything vital. But yeah, this is well documented. There's not too many physicists and doctors out there that would argue with me that EMFs are bad. Now the argument is that cell phone EMFs are bad, these electromagnetic forces. Are cell phones as bad as, microwave towers or your microwave oven? These are all sources of EMFs in our body. Microwave ovens have cages, metal on 5 sides of 6, and a little screen on the 6th side in order to absorb as much of that energy so it doesn't get out to cook you. So EMFs, these frequencies have been around since God, but man has changed those and migrated the frequencies back in 2G and 3G days. Okay, the frequencies didn't affect us very much because there were bones. Well, today's technology is super high frequency, and what we find is the higher the frequency, the less depth into the body. And this is going to collapse right into your wellness, right?
Wait, so the higher the frequency, the less depth?
Yeah, the less depth it can go into the body because there's not enough energy there. Right. So you would think the faster these 5G, 6G, 7G phones aren't going very deep into the body, which means, oh, thank God. Well, guess what's 3 millimeters deep into your body? Blood. Blood. And now it's a blood problem and not a bone problem and not brain tumor problems that have been talked about with. And I'm not a big fan of scaring people with it's a cancer problem, it's a tumor problem. No, it's just a degradation in wellness. Okay. It's like breathing bad exhaust gases because you have to go for a walk, right? Or it's just part of living today as our body's bombarded with things that push our wellness away from homeostasis, from balance. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to tell you to throw this away. So I have a son that's in Singapore, and there is no better joy in the day when he calls me and we are video chatting from Singapore. And when I stood on the Great Wall of China back in the late 80s, early 90s, and I could talk to my family back in Texas on a cell phone, it was amazing. I'm like, I want this technology. And I pushed hard as an engineer and led teams to develop solutions for the next generation, the next generation of phones. And I felt so proud because I could connect the world, right? I just had this problem with EMF to go deal with. And when I retired, I went off in that vector. But our bodies are pushed out of wellness all the time, from bad lighting to bad food to solar flares. All the natural and non-natural things that bombard us push us out of wellness, push us out of balance.
So the EMFs that come off of these phones, so I'm sure you heard my show if you've listened recently. Did I talk about grounding at all?
Yes, I did. I know. I love it. I want to hear you in real time on that.
Well, my question is, I should say, it's my understanding that we get a positive charge from our phone. And so that's harmful, right? Like all these, is this right? Am I?
Yeah, keep going.
Okay. So my understanding is that all the technology that we are exposed to every day, in addition to toxins and chemicals and just all the pollution and everything, gives us a more of a positive charge in our body. Is that right?
So yeah, there's the layers of it, but ultimately the frequencies that we have create a positive ionic response at the skin level. So that's a good way to describe it.
Okay. So let's go back to teach people why this is even important. Okay. Because most people, when you ask them, what are you made of? They say water. I swear I ask this all the time to people and they always say, oh, water. So what is your understanding of what we're made of? What are we?
Okay, let me put it, I'm 60 years old, so let me put it in perspective and a science guy. Now, I wouldn't say a scientist because I'm an engineer. I believe the body is a makeup of 7 layers that complete us, from the molecular layer, okay, down to the molecules that vibrate, okay, to the cell level, to the organ level, to the system, the cardiac system, to the being, to its energetic centers that are outside the body. Okay. That
Chakra
is us.
system.
Any one of those is out of balance. We are no longer in balance. You don't give the body good nutrition, cells can't function. Okay. You erode the molecular level of the body through EMFs and other toxins, you are going to erode the wellness of the body. So I believe in 7 because that's where my mind is. There might be 13, or you could convince me there's 4. That's not a real argument, but I want you to think about there are inside the skin definition of our body, okay? And then there's outside the skin. So my thinking of the world is I can create a well inside by focusing outside in. I talk about no supplements. I don't care about anything you put in your body. All the wellness in the world I can help you achieve outside in. Okay. I wish you could eat great food all the time. And I wish we had what the cavemen had in terms of quality of food. We have to go out of our way to find good broccoli, right? So I'm only focused at outside in. And I love the color of the spiritual layer all the way through to the molecular layer. And how does those energies and frequencies create the balance in the body? So we are a sum of Steve's world, okay? And we can argue that it's
no, I love it. I think
we are the sum of those layers of us. We aren't who we are unless we have our relationship layer manifested, right? We aren't who we are until our spiritual layer is manifested. We aren't who we are. We're sick if our cellular level isn't managed. And any one of those can put us out of homeostasis, can put us out of contentment, can put us out of enjoying life. So to me, it's a whole balance of all the things that you talk about of this high energy state is, to me, is a high frequency state. That means everything is just bouncing in, feeling good. You'll get up out of the couch and go for your walk because you know your body needs it. You'll go for it when your mind wants you to do it. Okay. Whether your legs are sore or not, okay, whether there's toxins in the street or not, your mind can control you. And your mind can be influenced by the spiritual layer, and it can be influenced by the relationship layer, the emotional layer, as well as the chemical layers inside the body. So I'm a big fan of it. It's all of those. And if you don't address them all, you're never going to be in balance. You're never going to find, and I don't want the word happiness because that's so nebulous. You won't be as good as you can be unless all those pieces are played into.
Well said. Very good explanation. I love that. So okay, first of all, thank you very much. I got this last night. I'm like, okay, let's see what this does. And so I'm excited. How does something like this, which for the listeners, I have a body align bracelet on. Is it called a bracelet or a wristband?
Wristband, bracelet, that's fine.
Okay. How does it work?
Call it wristbands. So what I've done is I've studied biology and I looked at what the body would need to get into homeostasis, into balance on the outside looking in, okay? So we need to worry about vitamins and minerals. We need to worry about complex molecules like turmeric and red yeast rice, all the things that the body would want to have chemically, okay? I said, you know what? I can give the body the presence of that energetically. So this wristband is the sum of about 350 different frequencies, okay, that the body needs, some of which it'll ignore. It says, you know, I got enough magnesium. I don't have a magnesium deficiency, so I'm good. I'm going to ignore that, okay, the fact that you're telling me there's magnesium in my body. But in the case of people that have low magnesium, they can ingest it all they want, but the body can't uptake it because the cells of the body aren't aware that it's there. It just passes right by. So the Chinese in Chinese medicine, they would look and go, why would that be? What's going on? And they would look at reasons that the body's alignment, these energy centers are either hot or cold or spinning in the wrong direction. And they would try to align those frequency centers, these meridians of the body, in order to get the body back to where it belongs. So what I've done is I've taken this meridians of the body right here, and between here and here, where we focus at, between here and here, there's meridians of the body for the heart, the pericardium, the liver, and the kidneys, very sensitive, the gallbladder, are all right in this area. So I just found the frequencies that an acupuncturist would use to re-engage those, to get them back to where they belong. And this is 350 frequencies of natural things. There's no synthetic, right? Things in here to help the body get to where it belongs. Let me give you an example so you kind of see what I'm talking about. In Chinese medicine, if you came in and said, I'm fatigued, they would look at these meridians, because one of the reasons you might be fatigued is because the cells of the body in the blood are very sensitive to the pH of the blood. It's not a surprise, right? The more acidic, the stickier they are in your blood is unhealthy. Well, what happened when we eat poorly or didn't work out that day, the body is now collapsing. EMF stresses on the body are going to collapse it. The pH of the body plummets. Your blood is essentially heavy metal, iron. When iron gets in an acidic environment, it gets sticky. So two blood cells, red blood cells, are bouncing along and they're happy. Oxygen, carbon dioxide, ATP, glycogen in and out of cells. Everything is just clicking along. Well, when it starts to stress, and because of a low pH, a high acidity, they stick together. So if I gave your body two blood cells and I stuck them together, I went from 4 areas where it can absorb and oxygen and carbon dioxide and nutrition. Guess what's going to happen? I'm now taking 2 cells and make 1. What if I did that with 10? So I've taken 20 and now I've only got 2 when I'm done, just the 2 end ones. Well, let's talk about what's happening in the body. So the muscles get fatigued because there's not enough there for them, right? That sounds kind of horrible. The liver's going, I don't know, there's a problem. The muscles are going, oh my gosh, I'm exhausted. The liver's going, I can't tell there's a problem. The bone marrow's going, I can't tell there's a problem. I count 1, 2, 3. You got plenty of red blood cells in the body. The kidneys are going, I'm not seeing a problem. I'm getting stuff to clean out of you coming by me and I'm doing my job. When you align those, all of a sudden the liver goes, oh my God, this blood is out of control. And it dumps magnesium and sodium and calcium, the things that can raise the pH that your body has naturally stored. So an acupuncturist would go in and go, we got to turn these meridians back on so the liver and the kidneys know they can communicate, not in the chemical plane, they need to communicate in the energetic plane and say, liver, turn on, get engaged here. So what happens is the pH goes up, the blood cells separate, all the organs of the body are now reconnected. So I call it the energetic reboot, okay? And we need it all the time. Our body's constantly being bombarded. So if you were to say, Steve, you got to drink alkaline water. I know. Got to keep the pH high because these forces on us chemically, energetically are pushing our pH down, creating an unhealthy dis-ease. I do it because I can use traditional Chinese medicine, re-engage the body's natural ability and push the pH up. Now, just in full disclosure, let's say the DNA in my body says your optimum pH of your blood is 7.2. Okay, pretty good number, just slightly alkaline. But, because of my habits, it's running about 6.8. I put on my product, my wristband, and it starts to push up towards 7.2. It can't go to 7.4, can't go to 7.9, because I only can do what the body can naturally do. So if you don't feel like, hey, I'm not well enough, I want more, you can drink alkaline water and use inside treatments to push that to a higher level or a lower level, whatever you want. I can only get you to your DNA level. What does your body want is your chemistry. What does your body want is your lifestyle. That's the best I can do. That's the best Chinese medicine can do. That's the best we all can do because we're all limited by our DNA. We're all limited by it. We can get closer to it by exercise, right? If your natural DNA says you're healthy at 165 and you're at 180, well, that exercise can help get you back to where your optimum spot is. I call that the God level. What were you created to be at 60 years old, right? This hair loss was probably natural, okay? Or it could have been acid rain. There's things I could have done over the years to diminish that. I didn't. Right? Because then my DNA either says I'm establishing that as your rightful spot, or I could start using things to push it. So I might have some hair growth, or I can use minoxidil and then overpower the body to overcome that and sprout some hair. So I'm all about getting the body back to where it needs to be, or where it's designed by your DNA structure to be. If you're a man and you have low testosterone, which we hear about all the time, you got 2 choices. You can get back to what your testes are capable of doing by cleaning up your lifestyle, okay? Eating right and exercising, or you can rub synthetic testosterone on your arm, underneath your arm, and let it absorb through your skin. Your testes dry up, but you feel really good because you've used pharmaceuticals, non-natural things to push your T levels super, super high. And you can't modulate them. If your number should be 70, when you put that stuff on your arm, it's going to go to 150. Right? My product would push you, if you should be at 70 and you're running at 60, we're going to push you to the 70 level.
And it's
Wow.
this magic
That
bracelet
product
does all
there is
that.
taking all of the things, your first line of wellness with my product is taking all the things that I've done, learned about biology, and says, hey, let's give them all they can be to push their body. I would expect if you had a late afternoon headache, or you just have to be at the vending machine and get a little nausea going on in the afternoon, this is going to help alleviate that. You can't sleep at night because you're just so disconnected. Your anxiety is too high. That product's going to help push you back to where you might be able to sleep better at night. If you have some residual pain, muscle pain and stuff that's non-natural, that shouldn't be there, that helps to minimize it. People that have bad knees and stuff wear these, and they tell me they can go from pain levels 6 and 8 down to pain levels 2s and 3s by having this product on, because it's just getting the body to have all the pieces that it needs. The body goes, oh my gosh, you're in pain. So I'm going to dump endorphins and serotonins out so you can deal with those pains. I'm going to reduce inflation by sending a drastic amount of anti-inflammatories down to that spot and push you down. That's not healing. It's just getting your body to deal with what it's going through. Reiki, right, are ways for us to heal that and make that no longer a part of our body. So I'm a wellness guy, not a healer, okay, but I can help our bodies get to a level where the risk of needed healing, we can reduce that, because we're going to keep our body closer and as strong as it can be.
Wow. That's amazing. Okay. I have to say that is absolutely amazing.
So let me put it in perspective, because it might be the first time you've heard it presented like this, but I'm going to give you 2 facts. I study technology that's 5,000 years old. The Chinese have been doing this. The ancient Asians have been doing it. The South Americans, the Mayans, all used energy. Even the Native Americans used energy to connect themselves to wellness. Okay, they used energy. You see it in the movies all the time, and I don't know how realistic it was, but it seems they would see the hawk and the raven. All is the outside world communicating with them and pushing their mind, their bodies into a different plane, into a different level. So 2/3, this is the second one, 2/3 of the world's population believes that I believe that we are a sum of energy. Okay, these planes. 2/3, there's 8 billion. Let's make the math easy. There's 9 billion. That's 6 billion people believe like me. And there's a handful of folks of the other third. Maybe some are confused, so we'll put those in the middle. But some, thanks to Dr. Baer and Felix Hoffman, who invented the first pharmaceutical besides alcohol. Okay, the Native Americans used the bark of the white willow tree.
Oh yeah,
God's gift for using silic acid, and it reduced inflammation and pain. Well, Dr. Baer and Hoffman got together and synthesized the first pharmaceutical called acetylsilic acid. I might pronounce that a little wrong, but acetylsilic acid, aspirin, right? So we took a natural and synthesized it. Now aspirin can be a cause of Reye's disease, it can be a cause of deteriorated liver, but you could chew on the bark of a willow tree all day long and you won't have that problem. But you use Dr. Baer in the late 1800s, and we became a culture of the pill or the inside solution, and didn't put our bodies in a position where the outside world, exercise and positive thinking and all the spirits of the world, has ability to elevate us. Okay. And I'm a firm believer that maybe as a Westerner born in upstate New York, right? Maybe I didn't have a full grasp of all the things that were available to me to be healthy and be well. And my time in China, my time in Japan, and the Eastern culture really exposed me to, Steve, Tai Chi and Tai Chi Dong, and the ability for the body to get reconnected is about all you need. And you said about grounding, right? You don't need any of my products if you eat well, have a good spiritual capability, right? And walk on the ground barefoot. I can drain all of these ions that you talked about right off you, right back to God, right back to the earth. Now, I wouldn't do it on my lawn because there's so many chemicals.
But how easy is this? I mean, come on, like, this is so easy.
So this is a product that I don't recommend you wearing it to bed. because it's got energies in it to pick up your metabolism, to pick things up for you. So you may not sleep very well, but you might be more tired when you go to bed. Okay. Basic building block of energetic wellness. So if you went to an acupuncturist for the first time, he would do almost everything I'm doing here without even diagnosing you. He'd say, if you have no maladies, but we just want to give you a wellness check, he would be, these are the meridians that he would typically use. And he would typically give you most of these frequencies, all the essential oils that we use, all of the molecules that I've found in nature, pine tree pollen, all the stuff that you hear about. I can extract the frequency, the energetic presence of it, okay, and put it into this band to broadcast back into the body.
Wow. And you said 2/3 of the people believe like we do. I don't think they live in the United States, because I am surrounded by people that think I'm a nutcase, even including my family. Like
it's amazing. And until you open your eyes to quality of life, let me give you another fact. Take the American culture, America only, okay? And you eliminated 3 pharmaceuticals, okay? Insulin, high blood pressure medicine, and cholesterol medicine, statins. If you eliminated those from the population, we would have an average lifespan close to third world nations. Men, when I was born, men died 5 years, on the average, died 5 years before women. That's equalized now. In the last 3 years, the actual life expectancy rate went down in the United States. Okay, you know what closed the gap? It wasn't because men got stronger and men decided they wanted to live longer. Okay, men took high blood pressure medicine. Men allowed themselves to be obese and need insulin. We're kept, our quality of life is kept at a pretty decent level. Believe me, if I needed insulin, I would take insulin. I am not saying don't follow your doctor's advice. What I'm saying is look at it in a holistic way. Now you've used chemicals to get to a good quality of life, or now look at ways to make to go beyond that. Look at the energetic world to see if there's ways to get more out of it in whatever time we have left on this earth. And our children should be aware that these are the gotchas, right? I'm very fortunate that my children are very comfortable talking to me about what I love, this passion I have for this, the energy side of the world. They're very comfortable. So I don't have a big issue in the family side, but I got friends that think I'm nuts. And I just look at them, I go, the data's staring you in the face. You think the people that are standing on the Great Wall of China in China are worse human beings than you are? They're, no, I said, they have a much better quality of life and they outlive us. They don't have cigarettes, right? They don't eat crappy foods. They don't go to McDonald's, okay? Yeah, they don't have internet yet, and they don't have some of the other luxuries that we might have, but I'm talking about life. I'm talking about the sanctity of our birth to our death, okay? They got it better than us. Many of them have it better than us simply because they don't have the influences. They don't have the chemical influences. They got to take care of it energetically, or doesn't get taken care of. I don't think the American Indians had it wrong. I don't think the people of China have it wrong, or the Aborigines. You can go every continent and find a significant population that hasn't been contaminated with its pill first, okay? They look at energy first. Now, you fall off the Great Wall of China and break your leg, they go to a doctor, okay? They use expertise to do the things that energy would take so long to do, or just isn't practical to do, right? Yeah. There's a good balance in our world between the medical community and the energetic community. I tell people, use medicine for diagnosis, use Reiki or energy or wellness, right, as a way to heal the body, and even faster, right? If the body can be healed, all those pieces together are going to get you there faster, but nobody's better at diagnosing what the biological problem is in your body than the medical community. And I fully embrace those, right? My issue is what you do after the diagnosis, and how can you build the body back up and become more well or less disease.
Yeah, the pharmaceutical companies is like a big thorn in my ass, to be honest, because I mean, and I have to say, in defense of most people, you don't know what you don't know. I raised my kids on kid cuisine, fast food, all the stuff that I was raised on. But then in 2007, when I started learning about nutrition, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's more than just calories. It's like chemicals. And my eyes went wide open. But then I got even deeper into the energy side. And then I was like, wow, it's like your food is really just your energy source. So, okay, I have so many questions for you. The other two questions are, I want to talk about what these do, and then I want to talk about you and just more personal stuff, like what your practices are, what your lifestyle looks like.
Okay.
I really get juiced up by kind of figuring out how people tick and what makes you,
Yeah.
So I have these that you guys
Okay,
sent
so
me.
your right hand, we'll talk about that one first.
Is that
So,
this one?
yeah, there you
Okay,
go.
mask
The
patch.
mask patch. That is because you're in the fitness side of it, that is a patch we developed specifically for triggering the body for muscle mass. So let's talk about biology. What has to happen? Well, older women have muscle mass issues, right? Older men have muscle mass issues. So I went and looked back at the chain of muscle creation, right? You have to fatigue it. You have to stress the fibers of the muscle in order for it to repair and strengthen, right? So the exercise community's got to get there, but you have to have the chemical presence of things like testosterone, right? Androstenedione, norandrostenedione, all the building blocks that the body needs in order to trigger that muscle to grow. So I said, that's the part I can help with, right? I can't make people change their behavior and exercise. So I created a patch for men and women that's designed to push the body's ability to produce testosterone back to the God level. Okay. Women produce testosterone, right? In your ovaries and in your other reproductive organs of the body, as well as in your parathyroid. It's produced, and it's your libido. It's all the things that make us healthy. Okay. Men, it comes from our testes. Our numbers could be anywhere from 70 to 130. Okay. It's higher when we're younger, and it tends to decrease as you get older. But the point is, your DNA should be controlling that. Okay. And if you want to move it up, you go to see a doctor. He does that. If you want to get it back to its natural level, the most natural level, you use a product like that. It goes right below your belly button. For the folks that out there are into energy, that's a CV4 meridian on the body. Okay. And that triggers the body to push the androstenedione cycle, the norandrostenedione and the androstenedione cycle, the building blocks of testosterone. It triggers the testes to say, hey, the pieces are there. Let's make some. Let's get going and make some. Okay. Because they may be just lazy because you're not stressing them that the muscles need it. Okay. So we're going to push them to start producing it. Okay. And we signal specifically, we don't signal testosterone because that has a negative effect on cancer or prostate cancer and other cancers that are triggered by the presence of testosterone. So we just signal the presence of the precursors in the body and let the testes do what they need to do. Let the hyperthyroid or the parathyroid or the ovaries do what they need to do. So women, we find that they have more muscle stamina. Okay, they report back to us. We tried it on 500 women and 500 men to give us a good sample size on how we're doing. The response we get is that it triggers more muscle stamina. I can't measure muscle mass. They got to tell me whether they feel like it is, because it's up to them. If you're stressing it, you might see a detectable amount, but people tell me that they can see a difference in their workout. They can see a difference in how they feel. Okay. We didn't do a clinical study on just measuring muscle mass because it's a function of the behavior that's ultimately going to create more muscle mass. But we get the chemical balance in place such that you can maintain your muscle mass and start to increase it. And we also found that in women, there's a little libido enhancement because low T in women typically is an issue with libido and other female issues. As we let the body push that back up, they tell us that they feel more of a glow. I think it's a combination of muscle, it's a combination of just, and even psychosomatically, you feel more beautiful when you think your body is being more beautiful, right? And I think it all just kind of triggers And it's a typical cycle. You wear it for 3 days, you take it off for a day, let the body relax a little bit. You put a new patch on, you leave it on for 3 days, shower with it, work out with it, and you'll find that it's just your workout, your stamina is even better. So I did that, design that exactly, just that little piece of wellness, okay, designed for muscle mass. And just think of every part of our body is influenced by muscles, right? So
Yeah.
I took a long time to develop it. It took about 3.5 years to get a formula that I was comfortable that we weren't doing bad things, because it'd be easy to build a patch and just make it signaling testosterone into the body. Well, that causes other problems, right? Okay, that's would solve ED for men, but if you're a 65-year-old man with prostate issues, that's a problem. You don't know you have prostate cancer, but I could be pushing it. So I just looked at the biology and says, how can I make the body make more testosterone without telling the cancer that there's testosterone there?
You are so smart.
It's been out for about 5 months now. It's been in lab and development for over 3 years. So we don't mess around. People ask me, you are so smart. Where did you learn all this? And I go, no. I'm not smart. I'm just a voyeur of biology. I look for these things and I think about all consequences, because they think my magic is in Tesla coils and what Tesla said and making these energetic frequencies. I said, no, the magic is in biology. The magic is in understanding all the interactions, because I have competitors out there that do that. And I said, hey, we all have the ability to influence the body energetically. Are they giving you a formulation that can do something for your body that is consistent with what they claim, but at the same time doesn't harm? Okay. And I think that's really, really important.
Yeah.
That you understand the unintended, like, this is not, when you get synthetic testosterone, do you know what the learning label is? Do not let your spouse touch your skin where this is applied. Okay.
Really?
Yeah, because she's going to get it. And a little bit every now and then, it's probably not a problem, but every night, if they've got the snuggle bunny going and he's got this part of his body on her back, she's going to absorb it and it's going to alter her biology.
Yeah, that sucks. I'll tell you something. A long time ago, I don't remember how, I'm 56 now. So I'm going to guess maybe it was 10 years ago. All my friends were getting these hormone pellets. And I'm like, okay, I'll do it too. I gained 13 pounds in like 3 weeks. And I started growing hair in places that I did not want to be growing hair. Like, it had to be from the testosterone. And I'm like, forget this, get this out of me. My doctor's like, sorry, it just has to run its course.
Yeah, it will.
But I'm like, I'll never do that again.
So again, there's so many, I'm a DNA guy. I want to get us back to what the body can do naturally. And then if it isn't enough, then you can make choices about whether you get synthetic hormones or not, like HRT. When women are constantly given solutions that are based on pop this pill, right? Don't change your behavior, pop this pill, men the same way. And I always just want to get folks more engaging and let's get to where your body is as good as it can be. Okay. I'm not asking you to run marathons. I'm just asking you to make some behavioral changes. And with the use of my products, I'll get you about as good as you can be. Then decide whether you want to have hair the places you don't want to have hair. Right? I'll leave that up to you. But in the meantime, it's pretty simple to get your body really close to whatever your DNA can get you to.
No, I love it. I do CrossFit. So I'm all about getting stronger.
Yeah.
I liked the idea of my goal is to get stronger without getting injured.
Well, be careful, because the other product that you have, okay, you have the other product
one?
you have. Yep. This is our pain patch, right? So I created these because people in my life were in pain, and they would pop in pills to solve pain, blowing up their liver with ibuprofen, affecting their heart and their kidneys with aspirin and the Tylenol. And I'm like, there's got to be a way. So I started studying pain, saw that there's a lot of pain in our body just due to inflammation. Well, I can make the blood vessels of the body react. I've already proven that. So now can I reduce inflammation and take the swelling away, take it down so there's less pain? I created these patches. They're a pretty simple patch, right? You're going to take these and you peel them off. You put them right on the pain center. Got tennis elbow, slap them right on your arm. Now, what I can tell you is if you're an athlete, the pain is going to be reduced significantly. Okay. And I had a professional football player, he uses them, and he had ACL injury, put it on, to stop taking his narcotics as soon as he got my product, was training with him. And he goes, Steve, I don't have any pain. I go, take them off immediately. And he goes, why? And I go, you're an elite athlete. You need pain as a feedback. Okay. Wear them to bed so you can sleep better and get your body to recharge, but you will have less pain. Now, arthritic pain and fibromyalgia and lupus, the stuff that has very overactive nerves, we're not as good on. I'm totally transparent on that. You can try it, and all of my products get a money back 30-day. Don't work, just send it back, right? But it's worth a try to get you out of pain without using narcotics, without blowing up your liver and your kidneys. I always tell people, if you have to do something every day, you have to put a pill in your body every day, your body treats it as a toxin. It's treating as something, it's a toxin. We're going to detoxify it and reduce its impact on the body, right? This patch lasts 3 or 4 days. Okay, you slap it on, you shower with it all day long. Got a lower back pain, hip pain, sciatic pain, knee pain. Drop this on, and cramps, for women that are going through their cycle, for cramps as well, we're going to push that pain down to a very, very low and sometimes 0 level.
Wow.
Okay? And this is my most popular product. People buy this in monthly supplies. You get 20 in a package, and they last anywhere from 3 to 5. Some people can wear them for 2 weeks. Okay. And they weaken over time because the oils and the salts of our body deteriorate them. And we've had really, really good luck with people just saying, I don't need the surgery now. I don't want to risk it. I'm done with narcotics because I've got something that, and we might be more expensive than pills, right? You can get a narcotic for about $3 a day, $1 a pill, if not a little bit more. You go to your pharmacy, doctor gives you what, 3 a day is your budget to keep your pain down if you're on pain management. This is cheaper than that, but it's certainly a lot less harmful to your body, right? If this doesn't work, nothing's happened. I tell people, what do you got to lose? You tried for a couple of days, you tried on your friend for a couple of days, and if it doesn't work, you just send them the ones you didn't use back, and I give you your money back. That's how comfortable I am in my product. Is these are the kind of products that do no harm, right? They may not be effective on everybody at the same level, but they don't do harm. So you've got a modest investment to try it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So let me ask you, because there's different types of pain, right? There's like my typical pain is from like injuries. Like I had, I had a shoulder thing that acts up every once in a while. I have a knee thing that acts up every once in a while.
So those I would consider inflammatory pain. There's been damage to the muscle area,
right,
the bone area, the tendon, the ligament, right? This is phenomenal against those. Okay. You got shoulder pain. My brother had his rotator cuff operated on. We put a patch here, and he got about 40-50% relief. We put a patch back there. No narcotics, nothing. In fact, I was mad at him because he took his arm out of the sling, right? And that's not what you do. You wait till that really, really heals before you think you're Superman again, okay? And that we could take the pain level down. They didn't need narcotics.
Wow.
So that's the pain that were really, really effective. So any injury pain, anything that's caused by inflammatory response, we're really, really good at. That's what I built these to do.
Okay, cool. Because I had knee surgery on both of my knees because I used to be a runner, and I had knee surgery on both, and I feel like it made them worse in a way. I don't know if that makes sense, but I don't have the mobility that I used to have. And
it's a wicked trade-off, right? Maybe less pain, but not as functional. And that's always happens. And I tell people, these are not healers. Maybe at the time, if you had Reiki, you could put the body back in perspective and heal it. These do not heal you. They just simply get your body to deal. What I believe happens, we have a connection between the autonomic system, the spine, that keeps everything going, and the endocrine system, which is operated by the brain, all the hormones, all the responses. We have a connection between those two called the vasovagal nerve, right? It's a nerve, they say fight or flight. I can change my heart rate because my eyes can see that I'm going to get my butt whooped, right? So, but the brain doesn't control the heartbeat, the spine does. So there's this connection that has that. So a lot of pain in our body is procrastinating and being there because the brain doesn't know it exists. Because the spine's going, what do you mean you don't know it exists? I've been telling you it exists for the last 2 weeks. And the brain's going, well, that was 2 weeks ago. I don't know what's going on now. And it's disconnected for that. The brain shuts itself off because it can't fix it. So the spine just deal with it. The brain can dump endorphins, serotonins, okay, out to the body to relieve the pain, relieve the pressure. So the energies people, the acupuncturists, the shamans would go and go, oh yeah, you got a problem. Is this nerve, this gallbladder, the nerve is generally managed by the gallbladder meridians, is disconnected. Let's just turn it back in. Doot, 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 doot. Turn it back on. So the brain and the spine are now working together. Oh my gosh, your knee's in pain. Here's some serotonins. Here's some endorphins. Okay, let's help the body relieve the pain, start expand the healing process if it's in the healing process, or get the pain to start to subside because the body can produce the chemicals for reduce pain. I'm not giving it any chemicals. I'm just getting the body to go, hey guys, there's a problem here. Okay.
Wow. So do these also work on the same type of technology as the band?
All of them, they're all the same.
So it's all like a Tesla coil type technology?
Yep. Imagine a microwave oven that I set these products in. Okay. I turn it on, and in the background, I have these computer cables going in that all drive different frequencies through this Tesla coil. It's just bombarding them. And I'm modifying these such that when they're near your body, they're providing your body back. This is about 150 different frequencies are vibrating back to your body. So for pain, I love any of the anti-inflammatories, right? Love those, right? Those are primarily what this is embedded with. For sleep, our sleep patch, we use a lot of melatonin and a lot of ashwagandha, right? Because that gives the body the calming impact at the same time, energetically available to the brain and the spine that melatonin's ready to go, right? You might have it all, but if the brain and spine aren't talking about it, right? Because that stupid nerve is disconnected, okay? Or my sleep product just says, okay, guys, start talking, and all of a sudden we can collapse. The anxiety level goes down with ashwagandha, turmeric, and red yeast rice, push the ability for the blood circulation to get better, start to calm everything so the heart rate can drop, and you can put your body in a better state of sleep. So it's really, we keep talking and I keep smiling about, it's all about biology. It's all about knowing how these connections matter. You could go into many doctors today and you can test your blood and come back and says, you need vitamins. And I'm like, I don't think so. I think you need magnesium, because with low magnesium, you can't uptake vitamins. So if you would really want, so many of our, as you understand biology, and many of our doctors and medical communities, even nutritional communities, don't understand the interaction. But you don't need vitamins you probably don't need as many vitamins if you have a good stable supply of bioavailable magnesium. It's really important. Okay. You want low blood pressure? Balance your magnesium, your calcium, and your sodium. Okay. Have that test done to see where you are at the serum level, at the cellular level. You're going to find that one of those is out of whack, because probably the other two are out of whack as well, right? Most of the time I see hypercalcemia and other issues in people. If I said, look, your marker for magnesium is way off the scale. Don't worry about the calcium, fix the magnesium, because they work together.
Wow. I'm impressed. You're awesome. So what do you like to do for you? Like, what are your healthy practices besides inventing cool stuff? Oh, wait, before I go there, do you have anything for weight loss, or is that this?
Not yet. Weight loss is much more behavioral than it is energetically. I know some acupuncturists are quite good at it. We've looked at some products. We're working on some. In development, we're looking at weight loss as a way to just to turn I bet if we did a basal body temperature on you, you're probably going to be below 98.6. Very common in us older folks. Whereas younger, you might see it even a little bit higher than 98.6. So if I could use my technology for weight loss, I would just be after getting your engine stoked back to 98.6, right? because something's pushing it down. It's chromium picolinate, cinnamon, lots of cool stuff I could use just to push your, the 1 degree of change in the body temperature is a ton of calories. Okay. It is an amazing, at a 200-pound guy, raising the basal body temperature 1 degree, 1/2 degree C, because everything's done in the metric system. Okay. It's 1 degree Fahrenheit is 1/2 degree C, roughly. Raising it that much can burn 300-400 calories a day, because every calorie in the body is converted to heat. There's no magic magnet turning on and off. No electricity is being produced. It's all heat. Okay. All the nutrition in our body is burned up as heat. So if I can get your body to think it has to keep generating heat, right, to get your body to 98.6, you're going to burn calories. Okay.
Interesting. Because I have a client who no matter what she does, I cannot get the scale to budge. Even like she took a break over the holidays, the scale number still said the exact same thing. Like, I've never had that happen before. Everybody always loses between, 15 and 30 pounds in 90 days. Drops medications, all that, but just this one girl. So I said, well, we're going to figure it out.
I'd love to have her as one of my guinea pigs. Is we look at a lot of things about wellness, right? She might be the picture of wellness on the outside, but there might be some issues. One of the things I would test her and say, every morning and every afternoon, give me your basal body temperature, just on your tongue, in your ear, I don't care, just same method every time. And I think, how old is she? More than 40?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think she's 60.
Okay. So she's right in that range where I guarantee you, she called up her doctor and says, I'm at 98.6 because you got fever. Because she's probably going to be, I'm 97.1. Okay. Anytime I put a thermometer to my head, it's always going to read 97.1. That is my 60-year-old body temperature. And if I took picolinate or I took cinnamon or used the patch, right, when it becomes available, I'm going to push the body back to 98.6, not to 99, right? I'm never going to go beyond what the body wants it to be. But that's how my approach would be to weight loss, is to just push the body to consume its own calories.
Yeah, that's smart.
Tank and let her just shiver for an hour. That'll burn a lot of calories as well.
Oh gosh, I don't like being cold. I have a sauna. I'd rather go in my sauna and sweat. Okay, I know that we're at the top of the hour. Do you have time to just talk about your passions and a little bit about you? Okay, cool. So what?
We'll talk a little bit about a wellness journey, right? And in a revelation. I left the professional world in 2010-ish full time to do this kind of stuff. And I was the epitome of go out to lunch every day and sedentary and just letting it erode. And I got some really good wake up. And my brother has 21 stents in his body. I buried my father after 13 bypasses in one surgery. Okay. I didn't come from good DNA stock, right? My brother had already had 2 heart attacks by the time he's my age. He's 2 years older than me. He's got 21 stents. I was on cholesterol medicine and I was on high blood pressure medicine. And I said, I don't have to be pre-diabetic. I can do things. And I noticed on your webpage, you talk about keto. So I'm a keto guy. I totally push my body in the ketogenic range. Love the lifestyle of it. Love how I feel when I'm on it. So at about 50 years old, I decided that I can make these changes, and it's not bad. They're not bad. I don't suffer. Trust me. There is nothing about my lifestyle that says that I suffer the choices that I made. What I can tell you is I do miss pasta. I do miss some of the things that Grandma Cloak used to make for me, and my Polish grandmother used to make for me.
I have a tip for you with that. Have you heard of Palmini?
No.
It's a pasta made with hearts of palm. It is the best substitute I have found. So,
well, I use zoodles from zucchini and have a little zoodles maker. So there's certainly alternatives to get by the craving. But there's a heart that you have. My grandmother's cooking. It kind of brings it. And you know what? I have cheated, and I do cheat. believe me, I'm a cell phone guy, anti-cell phone guys, this doesn't belong here. But if my son calls me, I'm talking to him like this. I'm not perfect. I don't expect anybody to be perfect.
Right.
What I expect is when you can make a choice, okay, let's pick the less of the evils that are available, right? Putting him on speakerphone and holding like this is way better than doing this, okay? Putting this in my front pocket is way worse than putting it in my back pocket, okay? Just so I want to educate people to say, you know what? Good Lord, take me when you need me, okay? Give me the best quality of life in the meantime, okay? And if you find yourself that you can't bend over and pick up a $20 bill on the ground, okay? Literally, you can't bend over to pick it up. You got to squat or kneel or do something to get it. You can make changes in your life. That $20 bill is yours, no problem at all. So I found myself in that mode and I'm like, no, I can do it. I stumbled across this technology through a wristband that a gentleman I got to know was working on. I took the exclusive license. I took all the technology and been able to drive significant products and R&D on that kind of stuff. So my passion is, someday I'm going to return to the earth, and I just want on my tombstone to say BA, just BA. And I want somebody somewhere to know what that means, body aligned, that I committed a lot of my brain power, my dreams, my prayer, all goes into ways of helping people feel better with an expectation is it's a way they worship the ones they love, okay, and their creator. And I don't question who your creator is. That's not about who I am, but I want to put your body in a position where you can do that. Whether it's 7 layers of your wellness or 3 levels of your wellness, I'm not going to spend a lot of time arguing about it, but I want to help be a part of all of those levels at the highest level that I can be. And I love talking about biology and wellness. I could go on for hours and hours and hours. You could cut this podcast up for 3 days, but this is my passion, is to make an impact. If you could read, and I promise you, you'll get this, if people do engage with us and they can go, there'll be a link available where they can go and click on it. They get a discount as well as access to all my videos and all the stuff that's cool about the products. I promise you, you're going to get emails. I've been in pain for 10 years and I don't have pain anymore, right? I don't sleep at night, haven't slept well in years. And now my Fitbit says that I've had 6 hours of REM sleep, right? You're going to get feedback of lives that you've changed, just like you do now when you've helped people lose weight in their 90-day challenge. You're going to feel the same feedback going, wow, I can push these people. We can push these people and provide solutions to their excuses, right? So they can put themselves in a better position. So I have challenged, there's some people in my life, I said, I'm going to challenge you to the bend over 20 challenge is that when I'm done with you, I'm going to put you so you feel better, you're off your drugs, but you're going to bend over and pick up a $20 bill without having to hold your breath, without having to hold onto the counter so you don't fall over.
I've never heard that one. That's a good one.
It's totally something I made up about a year and a half ago. So,
oh, that's awesome. Yeah, quality of life matters. And I do believe that we're not too old and it's never too late to make changes and improve the walk that we're on. And you know what? It just made me think of something. What I like about this bracelet is if it puts everything back to where it's naturally supposed to be. I'm thinking about even like your pineal gland. You mentioned calcium earlier, and your connection to your spirituality and to your creator. That if this restores things, wouldn't that logically make you be able to have more of a relationship or a communication with God?
We need to do a podcast on exactly that, because I'm all about, remember I said there's layers of us, right? I don't ignore any one layer of the body. Well, the best access we have to these layers is through the brain, obviously, right? The pineal gland is a major impact to that in our spiritual world, right? I notice I didn't say religious world, our spiritual world, our connected consciousness world. So we have a connection up, okay, to our deity. We have a connection across, and we can communicate through, Tesla called them longitudinal waves, but these are energy waves of the world that are outside of the physics that we have today. So You need to bring me back. I can talk pineal gland all day long and nurturing that world that's outside the body. Remember, let me leave you something. I'm an outside in guy. I'm going to make you well because I understand what's outside. And I'm going to find a way and show you a way that we can create that connection through the pineal gland to the world.
Yeah, I am in. I'm going to send you guys the link again because I wanted to ask you. Okay, so I read something. I was trying to find it quickly, but I can't. Something about, if you understand the Tesla stuff, I'm reading a lot on Telegram about ley lines and grid lines and natural like energy that would that they were making in cathedrals and in arches and things like that. Do you know all about that?
I know much about it. Much about
Weird.
it. So there is, let me just leave you with a little bit and tune people into. I believe the solutions to all of our life here already exist. We don't have to create a lot of things. We don't have to exhaust all of the hydrocarbons of the world, right? Matter is a function of God's creation. He can create energy from any sources, right? So it's just a matter for us to either listen because he's already told us, okay, or wait, listen, get him to tell us what it's going to take. I promise you, he's in control. I promise you, these pieces through Tesla, through guys like me that just deeply open themselves up to seeing this and feeling it. I see color. I see things that are outside, and I'm an engineer. Can you imagine? I have 3 boys, all engineers. They look at me sometimes like I got horns going, come on, Dad. I can't write an equation to explain what you just told me. Okay. And I said, I know, because we're limited by our brain. We're limited by this constraint because we won't see that there's more outside of us. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I can. And I got that gift maybe at birth, but I didn't nurture it until 10, 12 years ago when I started seeing how energy can make a difference. And I'm like, this is what I love. This is what it's all about, is how do I create the energy of the world, the energy of the kingdom, and use that for what we are going through. In 2014, I believe, maybe it's a little bit sooner, at the CERN Super Collider in, I think, Sweden or Switzerland, they found the Higgs boson. Now, I'm getting a little fun here in physics, right? This is more my son and I get it going. You'd love to sit at our kitchen table. And I go, they found the Higgs boson. He goes, yeah, I know. That's amazing. I go, you know what that is? He goes, well, it's called the God particle. It's the proof that energy made mass. Today, E equals MC squared. You've heard of that, right?
Yeah.
Einstein, energy equals mass times the speed of light squared. That means that if you think about the way math is, I put in a unit of mass, I get energy. I put in more mass, I get more energy. The equation is actually mass is created by energy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The Higgs boson proved, okay, that I can take energy and make mass. That's what God did. That's why they call it the God particle. The Higgs boson showed that the formula, that it still balances, but it's a little out of whack from where our brains are. Energy created mass. The hydrogen bomb took mass and made a lot of energy, right? It wasn't a couple kilograms of mass created all that energy. Imagine all that energy creating mass. So our physics are stuck. And I promise you, we'll get string theory solved, because our physics today, I'm going, prove to me that you're right, because there's particle physics, and there's energy physics.
And there's waves.
They don't connect. We can't write an equation. Yeah, wave theories, they don't connect. And we write string theory, I'll connect them. And Neil deGrasse Tyson and all these smart people are going, we'll eventually connect them. And I go, no, you won't. No, you won't, because you're starting with an expectation they will connect. They're not. They're 2 different branches of energy. So we'll see. I hope to live to be like 1 million, so I can look back and go, right there is when I was right.
Well,
it took a long time.
With new technology, you never know.
Oh, I don't think the world needs us around for 1 million years. Trust me.
Well, maybe not 1 million, but I mean, who knows with what's coming down the pipeline? I'm sure that you're aware of it. You're too, I don't know.
Bed, celestial chambers. There's ways that they're all
yes. Yes.
This is the world going, holy cow, maybe 5,000 years of education through the Chinese view of the world, that it's about energy. might find us a way to have a better quality of life and a longer life.
Yeah.
I personally believe that that's what we're stuck is when we get back to energy, the med beds, the celestial chamber, the way that we can reprogram our body and deal with our DNA, we can do it energetically. We can create a better life. I promise you.
Yep. I'm counting on it. I'm so excited about the technology. I wish that the celestial chambers were going to be here sooner. I have 2 senior dogs that I love with every like cell in my body. And I just keep saying, just wait for the med beds, like I'm talking to them telepathically, like you have to wait. So anyway, well, Steve, it's a pleasure. I would love to have you back so we could have a little bit of a deeper conversation, like what you were saying about the pineal gland and the spirituality component, because I do believe that we're so stuck in this 3D that we don't realize, like somebody said the other day, like if you could see everything that was really happening around you, your mind would be blown. Like we don't see everything that's really going on. And so I just love learning.
Well, I want to thank you for giving me your time and your audience and exploring this stuff. To me, this is my passion. You don't know the glow that I have right now going, man, I just spend an hour of the greatest hours of my week because I get to talk about things that I love and capture my 60 years of experience in this world and my evolution in it. And it comes from my science. It comes from all the gifts that God's given me as we talk about these things. So thank you very much, my friend.
Well, you are an absolute doll and it's been a wonderful pleasure. And I look forward to next time. I'll be in touch.
Thank you, my friend. God bless.
Thank you. Okay, that was an awesome show. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you're inspired to look at your body and healing it from the outside in, from an energetic perspective. I enjoyed our conversation so much, and I really do look forward to having him on the show again to expand on the spirituality component that we spoke of. So for complete show notes, head on over to highenergygirl.com/show, where you will also find links so that you can save on the Body Align products. And don't forget your discount code is High Energy. That's HIGHENERGY. And usually it's all caps, so I'm going to assume it's all caps. So thank you so much for listening, you guys. Please make it a fantastic day. Bye for now. This podcast contains the opinion and thoughts of its host and guests. It is intended to provide helpful and informative material on the subjects covered. All statements made on the podcast have not been evaluated by the FDA and are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. If the listener requires professional assistance or advice, please contact your personal medical doctor. Both host and guest specifically disclaim any responsibility for any liability, loss, or risk, personal or otherwise, which is incurred as a consequence directly or indirectly of the use and application of any of the contents of these episodes. Like I said, this is my opinion and I could be wrong.